Hello everyone, my name is Saila. I'm here to discuss about my project on serverless and cloud and serverless computing. Uh, Fabricating a Telegram bot to shorten long URLs using AWS serverless services. What is serverless? It is a cloud deployment model that refers to use and create serverless applications. Serverless applications are ones that don't need any server provision and do not require managing servers. The services used for the fabricating are AWS Lambda, AWS API Gateway, AWS CloudWatch, and Clean URI, a third-party API to shorten the long URLs using a Telegram bot. What is Lambda? It is an event-driven serverless computing platform powered by AWS. Therefore, the user doesn't need to worry about AWS services to launch and how to manage them. Instead of user to put the code in Lambda and it runs, the Lambda is executed. It's based on the response of events in AWS services. AWS Lambda function helps you to focus on your core product and business logic instead of managing OS and all other stuff. API Gateway. It is a managed service offered by AWS that helps developers to create, deploy, and manage API for their applications. It acts as front door to backend services, providing a secure, scalable API layer for the client applications. It can also integrate with other AWS services such as Lambda, IAM to provide additional functionality. API Gateway is a powerful platform for building APIs that are scalable, secure, and easy to manage. CloudWatch. CloudWatch is a monitoring and management service that provides data and actionable insights for AWS. It is used to monitor the actions which is done within the AWS Lambda function or AWS API Gateway architecture flow. First, the user given a long URL to Telegram bot which triggers an HTTP request used through API Gateway, and then API Gateway is linked to Lambda, and the Lambda code contains the clean URI API which converts the long URL to short URL. All these logs are stored in this CloudWatch. First, you need to show how to create a bot. Go to bot folder and go to menu, create a new bot. Here I already created a bot. I show how I create. I will start and enter command new bot. I entered a name for a bot called Siren, and it needs for it and it requires to add a username to our bot. I entered CSC AWS bot, and then I got all these HTTP tokens and details of my bot. I have pasted here in this notepad for our later usage. First, we need to create AWS API Gateway. I already created here. If you want to create, click on Create API, HTTP API, click on Build and add integrations here. We need to integrate Lambda functions. First, we need to create Lambda. Here, I created a Lambda named as URL bot. If you want to create a new, click on Create function, select author from sketch, enter name, and click on a Python 3.7 instead of Python 3.9 because Python 3.9 doesn't have request module. Python 3.7 has request module. After that, you click on create functions. Go to functions, click on URL bot. Let's see what is the code inside here. And this is the code. Here is the import JSON and request and lambda function handle definition, and this is the third party URL clean URI used here, and it is linked with our Telegram bot which was already created, and you need to set up a webhook to interact a Telegram bot with the API gateway and lambda functions. All these logs are stored in AWS CloudWatch, and integrate here lambda, select your function, the process goes on. All the required process steps I have mentioned in my LinkedIn article and in YouTube link. I mean in PPT. After creating the lambda function, you get this invoke URL, and first you need to set a webhook to our bot. Take this link and place a bot here, and then from here onwards it is HTTP token generated for our newly created bot. Open Postman and select get request, paste the URL here and click on send. If it comes true, the webhook is set successfully. After webhook settings, go to API gateway and click on routes. Here one it is post route, because the user enters a long URL, it is a post function, because we are the user giving the URL to the bot. It is any, because it is get function or post function is any. So you have two routes. Now let us verify this. My bot name is Sairam. I got this. If I enter this as long URL, I get a shortened URL. I copy this link and I open it in incognito mode. Yeah, it took some time. Yeah, it's coming. What the intro, you need to log in here because it is an AWS console, so it is coming here, coming like this. It is seen here, it's coming there. Now this is about my project and procedure, how to create a bot and create a lambda function, create an API gateway and webhook using Postman app. And these are the results which I have performed earlier. I have pasted here. And coming to conclusion, it is a plan of action through which we can convert long URLs into short URLs by using popular AWS services like Lambda, API Gateway, and CloudWatch, and integrated that with the Telegram bot. AWS Lambda plays a vital role in this entire architecture. User doesn't need to work about setting up hardware and managing infrastructure because of AWS Lambda only. This is the bot link. This bot link is publicly accessible and anyone can access this. And by entering a long URL, the bot automatically send a short URL within seconds. All the required stuff and required code and process are available in this GitHub link, and I will paste my link and I will give my LinkedIn article link in my GitHub also. Thank you.